Masked robbers break into an old woman's house, but they have no idea that the woman they are targeting was once a deadly assassin. The movie begins in Big Sky Ridge, Montana. An elderly and tough woman named Ellen is seen leaving a pharmacy after renewing her prescription. She then stops at a local store and buys 2 cartons of beer. Meanwhile, the town's sheriff, Gunnison, catches a young woman named Abigail stealing several chocolate bars and some dried meat from the same store. Abigail had recently lost her alcoholic father, and now she has no family left. She plans to leave the town forever, but she has no money and nowhere to go. She only stole the food because she wanted to save supplies for her journey. Instead of arresting her, Sheriff Gunnison seems to feel sorry for her. He lets her go with a warning and orders his deputy, Eric, to drive her to the edge of town and drop her off. During the ride, Eric tries to start a conversation with Abigail, but she refuses to engage with him. Eventually, he leaves her near a gas station. At the gas station, 2 men named Kyle and Don notice Abigail trying to get a ride. They approach her and offer to take her somewhere, but Abigail refuses. The men continue bothering her, making her uncomfortable. Nearby, Ellen sees what is happening and decides to intervene. She tells Abigail that she will help her find a ride instead. When the men try to stop Ellen, they have no idea who they are dealing with. In a sudden burst of speed and unexpected skill, Ellen takes both men down and throws them to the ground. Abigail is shocked by the old woman's incredible abilities and thanks her. As they continue traveling together, Ellen realizes that Abigail is trying to reach Mexico. Instead of simply leaving her on the road, Ellen decides to take her to her own farm near a construction area. Feeling sorry for Abigail, Ellen tells her that she should at least eat a proper meal and get some rest before continuing her journey. That night, after dinner, the 2 women unexpectedly share a warm conversation. Ellen reveals that after her husband died, Abigail's father used to help her with work around the house. This means Ellen had known Abigail's father for years. She then remembers how Abigail's father changed after Duke's construction company arrived in town to build a dam. He began drinking heavily because the river nearby was destroyed by the construction. That river had been very important to him. Later, Abigail's father was found dead after falling into the water near the dam, leaving Abigail alone. Abigail explains that she is tired of the town and wants to travel around the world. Ellen gently tells her that traveling can be exciting, but everyone needs a home to return to. Trying to lighten the mood, Ellen jokes that they are both lonely women. The 2 laugh together, and for a moment, the sadness between them becomes lighter. The next morning, a powerful land developer named Richard Duke arrives at Ellen's farm in a limousine with his right-hand man, Mitch. When they arrive, Duke tells Ellen that her land would be the perfect location for his new resort project. He pressures her to sell the property. Duke offers Ellen a huge amount of money and even promises her lifetime VIP treatment, but Ellen refuses. Even when Duke pushes harder, Ellen makes it clear that as long as she is alive, her farm will never be sold at any price. Angry and frustrated, Duke returns to his limousine. Once inside the vehicle, he orders Mitch to remove Ellen from the property, no matter what it takes. That night, Ellen secretly prepares supplies for Abigail's journey and packs them into a bag. She also gives Abigail Adam's knife so she can protect herself and warns her to stay safe. Abigail sincerely thanks Ellen for her kindness. But that same night, 2 men working for Duke, Kyle and Don, break into Ellen's house. Their mission is to hurt Ellen and make it look like an accident. Don begins damaging the stairs to create a deadly trap. However, Ellen hears the noise and wakes up. Suddenly, she attacks him. Despite her old age, Ellen proves that she is still extremely dangerous. She strikes Don down and uses an oxygen tank to knock him unconscious. The noise wakes Abigail, and she comes face to face with Kyle inside the house. During the struggle, Abigail accidentally finds a gun inside a cabinet and uses it to shoot Kyle. Shocked, wounded, and terrified, Kyle manages to escape. However, Abigail is frozen in place, horrified by what she has just done. Ellen calmly reassures her that she will take care of everything and tells her not to panic. Kyle immediately reports what happened to Mitch. Mitch is disappointed that Kyle and Don were unable to handle a single old woman. The next morning, police arrive at Ellen's house and arrest Don. However, instead of focusing on the fact that two men broke into Ellen's home, Sheriff Winston shifts the attention to the fight Ellen had with the men at the gas station the previous day. The police then search Ellen's property and discover 12 cannabis plants inside her cattle barn. Ellen explains that they are only for personal use, but Winston tells her that in Montana, having more than 4 plants is illegal. He decides to charge her. Late at night, 2 masked men had broken into Ellen's home, but somehow Ellen is the one who ends up being arrested. Deputy Eric feels uncomfortable with the situation, but he follows Winston's orders and takes Ellen into custody. After Ellen is taken away, Abigail remains alone at the house. While searching around, she discovers a hidden room beneath the floor of the basement. Inside, she finds various weapons, passports, military equipment, and photographs of Ellen wearing a soldier's uniform. Abigail begins to realize that Ellen was not just an ordinary woman. She may have been a soldier, or something far more dangerous. At the police station, one officer notices Ellen's terrifying tiger tattoo and admires it. He even shows her his own Taylor Swift tattoo as a joke. Not long after, Don is released on bail, while Ellen remains alone inside the station. Ellen asks Sheriff Winston to protect her house, but he ignores her requests. Ellen accuses him of working for Duke, but Winston does not care. Soon after, Kyle and Duke arrive carrying gasoline containers. Their plan is clear, they intend to burn Ellen's house down. Meanwhile, inside the police station, Eric begins to worry about Ellen. When he brings her an oxygen tank, he finds her lying on the floor. As he tries to help her, Ellen suddenly attacks him. She tricks him, takes his gun, and locks him inside the room. As she tries to escape, another police officer catches her. When a female officer attempts to use a stun gun on Ellen, she quickly turns the weapon against both officers and knocks them down. After escaping from the station, Ellen rushes back home. When she arrives, she gives Abigail the keys to the truck and tells her to escape before the police arrive. Although Ellen tells her that she will be fine, Abigail refuses to abandon her. As expected, the police arrive moments later. Ellen calmly waits for them on the porch of her house. Sheriff Winston points his gun directly at her, but Ellen easily disables the weapon and knocks it away. Humiliated, Winston orders his men to bring out heavier weapons. Eric tries to calm the situation, warning Winston not to make things worse because Abigail is still inside the house. Without carrying a weapon, Eric enters their house and tries to convince Abigail to come outside. However, Abigail refuses because she fears what the police might do to Ellen. Eric promises that they will not harm an elderly woman. Then Abigail shows Eric what she discovered in the hidden room. She explains that she always believed the story about her father's death, but now she is no longer sure. She shows him a map and points out strange incidents connected to other farms. One farm was completely destroyed, but authorities simply blamed it on an accident. Abigail believes it was connected to Duke's project. Another farmer lost all of his cattle because of the dam construction. Later, that farmer ended his own life. At first, Eric thinks these events are just coincidences. But as Abigail explains more details, Eric slowly begins to understand that something much bigger, and much darker, is happening. Abigail always believed that Eric was the one who discovered the hidden room. However, she soon realizes that Duke's men had actually found it first. At that moment, Abigail and Eric begin to suspect that Duke's people may have been responsible for her father's death. Not long after, Mitch arrives at the house with a group of armed men. Sheriff Winston, realizing that Abigail is still inside, asks for more time to convince her to come out. But Mitch only gives him a few minutes. Winston uses the radio to order Eric to bring Abigail out of the house. Eric refuses. Instead, he questions why Duke's men are even there in the first place. Winston signals Mitch to move in, but Eric begins to realize that his own boss may have betrayed them. Abigail believes Winston abandoned all of them and left them to die. Since they cannot leave him upstairs, Ellen and Abigail drag Eric down into the basement and take him to the hidden underground room. For their own safety, Ellen locks both of them inside. Outside, more men arrive to help Mitch. But these are not ordinary criminals, they are highly trained mercenaries. As they prepare their attack, Ellen begins setting traps throughout the house. Meanwhile, the police investigate Ellen's past. After sending a picture of her tiger tattoo to the FBI, they finally discover the truth. Ellen was originally from Russia. She was once a KGB agent known by the code names Sword and Shield. This means Ellen was not just a skilled fighter, she was a professional assassin who had killed people for a living. As the mercenaries approach the back of the house, Duke discovers several shooting practice targets that Ellen had been training with. Realizing the kind of danger they are facing, he starts to panic. The men plan to drive a vehicle directly into the house, but before they can get close, Ellen shoots the tires and stops them. At the back of the property, the mercenaries begin falling into Ellen's traps one by one. Terrified, Duke abandons the others and runs away. Mitch and his remaining men begin firing heavily at the house, creating chaos and forcing Eric to hide. When they finally move closer and open the front door, another trap explodes and throws one of them away. Although the men manage to enter the house, Ellen silently moves through the darkness like a ghost. At the same time, Abigail struggles to escape from the hidden room. One of the mercenaries hears her and begins trying to open the door. But Ellen quickly eliminates the attackers inside the house. Her aim is unbelievably accurate, she only needs one bullet for each target. When one mercenary breaks into the room and starts shooting, Abigail manages to free Eric. Eric tries to fight back, but he is too weak. Abigail grabs a baseball bat and knocks the attacker down, saving him. Elsewhere in the house, after everything she has been through, Ellen struggles to breathe because of her lung disease. As she reaches for her oxygen tank, Mitch finds her and shoots at her. Ellen tries to hide but is hit by a bullet. She fires back, but eventually runs out of ammunition. Mitch uses a dead body as a shield and moves closer, preparing to finish her. Before pulling the trigger, he asks Ellen if she has any final words. But when Mitch turns around, he suddenly finds Eric standing there, pointing a gun directly at him. Soon after, Ellen, Abigail, and Eric capture Mitch and tie him up. They question him, asking why Duke wanted Ellen dead. Mitch finally reveals the truth. Richard Duke is drowning in debt to dangerous people. If he cannot finish building his resort project by next summer, his entire empire will collapse. That is why he needed Ellen removed from the property. Meanwhile, Ellen's lung condition continues getting worse, and she desperately needs her medicine. When Abigail tries to help her, she accidentally drops Eric's handcuff key on the floor. Mitch secretly picks it up and hides it. While Abigail cares for Ellen in another room, Mitch begins provoking Eric by reminding him that Winston is probably going to die. Unable to control his anger, Eric gets close to Mitch. Mitch uses the hidden weapon and overpowers him. Abigail and Ellen quickly return to the room, but they are too late. Mitch has already set the house on fire and taken Eric hostage. As Mitch escapes, Ellen angrily shoots at him. His men surround the house and begin firing from outside, making sure nobody can escape. With the fire spreading quickly, Ellen, Abigail, and Eric return to the underground hidden room. They gather some supplies and escape through a secret passage. Outside, Mitch and his men believe everyone inside has been trapped and killed. But the three of them had already escaped. As Ellen watches her beloved home burn down, she is devastated. She looks back at the place that meant everything to her, knowing it is gone forever. The next morning, Duke's men search the burned remains of the house, looking for bodies. Meanwhile, Abigail and Eric lead Ellen through the forest to a vehicle she had hidden. As they drive away, Ellen finally tells them about her past. When she was a young girl, the KGB took her from the streets and trained her to become an assassin. Later, she met her husband, and together they built a beautiful life and a real home. But now that home is gone, and losing it has broken her heart. They know they need evidence to bring Duke down. Abigail remembers that before her father died, he may have discovered something important. They search through his belongings and find proof connecting Duke's resort project to the destruction of other farms. Meanwhile, Mitch receives a call from the Russians who are demanding payment for Duke's massive debt. They order him to bring the signed documents in person. Deep in the forest, Abigail finally understands the truth. For years, she blamed her father and thought he was crazy. But now she realizes he was right all along. He was not insane. Duke was behind everything. Now Abigail and Ellen both want Duke to pay for what he has done. Meanwhile, Eric goes to see Sheriff Winston. He warns him that federal agents are coming to arrest him. That same night, Duke discovers that Ellen is still alive. A few moments later, the lights go out. His guards begin falling one by one. Moving through the darkness like a ghost, Ellen silently attacks them with incredible precision. Duke hides inside a closet, gives himself a gun, and prepares for what is coming. At the same time, Abigail places explosives on the dam. While working, Kyle suddenly appears and reveals that he was the one who killed her father. He cruelly mocks her and attacks her. But Abigail secretly pulls out the hunting knife Ellen gave her. She stabs Kyle in the stomach and leaves him to die. Back at Duke's mansion, all the guards are dead. When someone approaches the closet, Duke panics and fires repeatedly through the door. Then Ellen opens the closet and points a weapon at him. Duke thinks she has come to kill him. But Ellen did not come for him. She came for Mitch. Because Mitch was the one who burned her home. When they face each other, Ellen shoots Mitch in the hand and removes his weapon. Mitch challenges her to fight, believing she is just an old woman. Ellen accepts. At first, Mitch gains the advantage. But Ellen quickly turns the fight around, injuring one of his eyes. She grabs a weapon and kills him. Later, Ellen takes Duke into the forest. When she gives Abigail the signal, Abigail detonates the explosives, destroying the dam. Duke curses Ellen, but before anything else happens, one of the Russian men arrives to collect the signed documents. The man immediately recognizes Ellen and shows her respect. When Ellen speaks Russian, he smiles, thinking she is there to kill him. But the truth is different. Ellen knows exactly what awaits Duke, so she allows the Russian man to take him away. Now the new sheriff, Eric, arrives to deliver Ellen's medicine. Before Abigail leaves, Ellen and Eric share a warm goodbye. Finally, Ellen and Abigail prepare to leave the town together and begin a new chapter of their lives. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next movie recap.